What is up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Audio is super important, and I think nowadays, you can have the same conversation as, buying a new phone. It's like, do I need the brand spanking new wireless mic that just came out? Do I need a specific brand like DJI, Rode? There's a lot of these other smaller brands, especially you see popping up on Amazon. Are those worth it? Should you get like a mic off a TikTok shop, which I've tried, and I have a video if you guys are interested in the comparison there. But DJI just came out with their new wireless mic 3s, and let me tell you, there's a reason or a couple reasons to get it, and there's a lot of reasons not to get it. So in this video, I just kind of want to spot the differences with you guys, especially if you're a small content creator or just starting out. That's kind of what this channel is going to be for, and kind of the journey that I'm going through getting back into the tech space, because I recorded everything on my phone, and that is by far the first step is use your phone, and then improve the audio, and then get into other cameras, and then build out your whole audio computer desk setup, build it up from there. But like I said, in today's video, audio is super important. And what exactly do you need, and do you need these new DJI mics? And just for reference, I do have my Vito tech case. So this, I've done a video on it on my main channel because they are a sponsor over there as far as like their tool bags, but they do have a tech and lifestyle and like stuff for you to go on trips, like backpacks and duffel bags and toiletry bags and tech bags. So if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link to that. I do want to go over this. Maybe not the bag itself, although you could, score one if you, think this tech bag is for you. But I want to go over the setup in general. But today, like I said, we're only going to talk about what I carry, which is the DJI Mic Minis. And as you can see here, I still have their Mic 2s. So I had just recently upgraded to these, and I kind of said this out loud: please don't make a new version when I buy these. And sure enough, they did. And I think I've gone over these, or not these, but the Mic 2s, which are great. They have onboard recording, so they have internal storage, and all that kind of stuff. I like that you can have the wind muffs in here, because I do record a lot of footage outside where it's very windy around here, so those help quite a bit. And now being able to store them, versus on the Mic 2s, you always had to remove them and carry them like in a tech bag, like I said. So these, I always had to assemble them when I was going to record. And the only bad thing I would say, but it's just a visual cue, but once you get used to the mics, it's not a big deal. These have no controls on them whatsoever, so it is just blinking lights so that you know that they connect. So once they connect, you can see number 1 is lit up now. You can see that the lights are green and everything is good to go. You only have the dial for gain if you want to increase or decrease. You don't have individual control over each mic. More compact, so you're not dealing with the mic weighing down your shirt. That was a big thing, and that a major reason why I switched over to the minis. And I was like, as long as it has this one feature, I'm good, which is the noise canceling feature. So you can tell the green on this side, the solid green here, shows that it's on. This one is the one that shows you if it's noise canceling or not. You hit the power button once, and that green light or yellowish green light turns off, and you only have the on light right there, which also changes the color here. So it's green, and it just shows that it's connected. If I hit the power button again, you'll see that it changes the shade of green or yellow that it is to match that now the noise canceling is on. So that was my main thing, because that is a feature that I really liked on these Mic 2s, versus the old school mics. I still have the original ones, which I'll get into right now. The original ones, like I said, have the original 1 and 2 have the display and the settings that you can do for each one. As long as I have that noise canceling feature and I go in there and then I can clean it up even further in my editing software, I'm good. I'll show a couple of clips right now at this Milwaukee Pipeline event, which is like a demo and tool event. A lot of noise, a lot of tools going on, a lot of people talking, and I was able to use these mics in a couple different ways. Obviously, you would kind of have the person you're interviewing wear them.
Hey everyone, welcome to Pipeline 2025.
Hi, I'm Anna, and this is the M18 and M12 Gang Box Rapid Charger.
All right, hi, my name's Patrick. Really excited to introduce today the second generation of M18 Fuel Surge.
All right, hi you guys. Today we're super excited to be introducing the new Streamline ACR pivoting press rings.
Hey everyone, welcome to Pipeline 2025.
Hi, I'm Anna, and this is the M18 and M12 Gang Box Rapid Charger.
All right, hi, my name's Patrick. Really excited to introduce today the second generation of M18 Fuel Surge.
All right, hi you guys. Today we're super excited to be introducing the new Streamline ACR pivoting press ring.
So I just kind of wanted to show you, if you do have a DJI camera and you go into settings, you're going to be able to go to wireless mics once they are hooked up. The Mini right here directly connects just like their mic 2s and mic 3s, and you're going to get some settings. I know it's going to be hard to see, but your LED option, low cut, auto off, and clipping control. There's not much else as far as like noise cancellation. For further options, you're actually gonna have to use the app, the Mimo app. If you go into your settings here, you're gonna see it pop up and you're gonna be able to connect to it in their Mimo app. You're gonna get basically the same settings that you saw on the camera app there. The receiver is actually doing all the extra controls that you would want. So now if you ever need to connect to these, you just hold actually on this one, you hold the power button on the receiver until it blinks blue. Right there it turned blue, and right there the receiver now pops up. You connect to that one, so you're gonna be able to do like all of the controls that you had on like the mic 2 or the mic 3 that you see on the display, but since this has no display, you only have a gain knob. You're going to have all your options here. So just so you keep that in mind, you still get a lot of these controls. You just have to get into the app to do it. So I have since changed my noise cancellation to strong. I was using basic for a lot of the recordings that I did because I was trying to figure it out. I just realized I could go to strong, raise it to strong now. And this is where you get your safety track and then kind of the same settings you saw earlier. Auto off with camera. That's basically the only other options you have here is your noise cancellation, your audio channel from mono to stereo, your safety track, which should record a backup track to the camera. So when you take it off the SD card, you're going to have an extra backup track. And then those two are the same, and then auto off with camera. So just don't forget, you still get some options from the other mics. You just have to use the app because there's no way to control it without a display. Okay, so we're on the DJI website, right? And I wanted just to compare the 3 and the Mini, but they have the 2 up here as well. Now, obviously, from the 2 to the 3, it's the same price. So you would want to go with the new one, right? It's much smaller. The benefit of the 3 over the 2 is like the noise reduction, the wind reduction. You can set the strength on it. Actually, you know what? The reason they're still gonna have the 2s is there's a couple of features missing. So here's the thing: if you have the 2s, you can use lavalier mics. Not everybody uses them, and that's probably why they took them away from the newest version. And the Minis don't have them either, but the mic 2 is the only one that you can actually plug an external mic into, where you would clip that to like your pocket, your back pocket, run a wire up, and then clip your lavalier mic to your collar or whatever it is. Some lavalier mics, and I think they sold a kit that came with their own high quality ones. But if you get good quality lavalier mics, sometimes those sound better. It's a little closer, and it's a little more discreet versus trying to, like I said, especially on the mic twos, clipping them to thinner shirts, or trying to clip them somewhere and it's just weighing down or flipping around, or not pointed in the right direction. So there's a few issues with the mic twos as far as like the size, but the newer ones are much smaller. They're more in line with the minis, to where it shouldn't weigh a lot. It shouldn't be, weighing down your shirt and stuff like that. So I do want to mention the mic mini that they show here is not accurate for what somebody would be purchasing, in my opinion. Not unless you do not want the extra mic. $89 is for one mic, one receiver, and the charging case, and you get the accessories that come with it. But I mean, that's a steal deal versus having to buy the two mics, which would be $169. So if you don't want to spend closer to 200, you want to spend closer to or right under 100, you can do that. Or you can also buy their mini setup, which is a single mic, because if you have the DJI Pocket 3, you have the DJI Action 4 or 5, you just need the mic. You don't need the receiver because they connect wirelessly via Osmo audio. So I'm a little annoyed because I actually bought this before I sold or put my other camera for sale. So I needed an extra mic because I had several and I didn't like always trying to sync them up. I wanted a mic for each camera. So you get the windscreens and the cables and this little carrying pouch. If you buy just this setup, because you already have the, like I said, one of their DJI cameras that connects to it, you don't need a receiver. So if you never use a receiver, just get the mic itself. The difference between this and the one that I showed on screen, where you do get one mic plus a receiver and charging case, is about $30. So you make your decision, because if you spend $30 more, you can potentially add a second one later. But this is how it comes on its own. The only bad thing is the other thing with these minis, which I think the Mic 3 is the same way, you don't have any ports on here anymore. So this relies on being charged in that charging case, or if you buy this, you're going to need to make sure you don't lose this little magnetic charger here. So you're going to put that on there and that's how it charges. And then that is USB-C. So you would plug that in and you can see that it's charging up right there. So I had bought this. I'm already going to sell it because I got rid of one of my DJI cameras for a more expensive camera. But this was a cool option for me personally, just having their ecosystem, and this costs $59. So if we're comparing apples to apples, it's actually $169 if you want the two mic setup for the Mic Mini, which is what I paid for this. You can also get, I'll leave a link down below. You can also get it on sale quite a bit on Amazon. They've been knocking down the price to about $129-ish. And at that price, that is a steal deal for a two mic setup that is just plug and go. There's nothing you have to mess with. I will say, having the Mic Mini after having the Mic 2s, I was always messing with the settings, playing around with it. Sometimes too many settings can be too daunting for a new creator or somebody trying to simplify things. So the Mic Mini really simplifies things. I would just say, when you get them, try them out. Record yourself outside, record yourself in a studio, or anywhere you think it would be your normal setting. Like if there's any background noise, or if it's super quiet and you want to like listen for echoes and all that, just try it out and then mess with the gain if you need to. I haven't had to. Everything sounds pretty good. So I just kind of leave it as is. I just have the noise canceling on. So I had set up backup audio. I honestly never used it, so I turned it off, and I don't need backup tracks regularly. So if that's important to you, you can look at the Mic 2 or the Mic 3. So on the Mic 3s, you can see that they look more like the minis. You're going to lose the port for the lavalier mic, and you're going to also lose a port for the USB-C. Just keep that in mind. You still get recording with the internal storage if you need that. So that is why I still have this single DJI Mic 2, because if I ever need to record, there's a little record button on this side right here. If I ever need to just go out and record a quick voiceover or, a thought, I can do it with this. And then I would just plug it in with the USB-C port and get the audio to my laptop and add it to whatever video I need it for. So that's why I still use this. I mean, you can do it with your phone. So again, like I've always said, you only need your phone if you want to start content, but these sound like quite a bit better for voiceovers and things like that. You can do that with the new ones. You cannot do that with the minis. The minis have no internal storage. And they have helped because I've had issues with peaking more so on the first ones every now and then on the Mic 2s, but you do get adaptive gain control and more balanced volume. You get up to 4 transmitters actually and 8 receivers, which is interesting. These are the modes that you get now: regular, bright, and rich. For your tone, I would prefer not to mess with that. So like I said, if this had came out actually a couple years ago, I would have jumped right on it because I've had that scenario where we have to have workarounds. Because I think one of the main selling points for this, and it's kind of what they showed there, it's for interviewers, podcasters, people that do a lot of events. If that's your kind of content, that's where the new ones would you would benefit from that. I have another podcast where it was 3 hosts, right? And if we did it live anywhere at any event, we weren't able to do a proper, like a live stream. That's where you would want 3 together on one receiver, something that you're not able to record the audio separately. Or when I did my podcast pavilion and I had we did the show with the 3 hosts, and then we did another podcast where I interviewed 4 people. So there was 5 of us up on stage, and if I wanted to record my own audio, I had to get creative. So that's why I also have these. So when I had the Mic 2s and the original Mic 1s, they all had onboard recording. So if I ever needed to, I would just get them together, do our little sync, and then I would have to, in editing, put them all together and sync up the audio. On that topic of setups and doing events and stuff, another big reason that I kept the original ones just for like as a backup option is if you have, because I use Ecamm since I switched to Mac, right? The StreamYard was big before. I think they've updated since I've left to kind of catch up with programs like Ecamm. So I use Ecamm to record any of this content, any of my podcast shows, and I've taken it with me, right? My laptop comes with me and all the gear that I would need. I took a microphone and a setup, like the cameras, to my last trip in Milwaukee, and I was able to do a podcast or live stream from the hotel and stuff. But if I ever needed to set up, right, go to a booth, set up my laptop, set up a live stream with the camera and the mics, you can add a USB hub to your laptop. And I've already tested this. And if you have multiple receivers, you just plug in the 2 receivers and you're going to get two of those show up in Ecamm. I'm pretty sure it's the same with any program, but that was another way that I would get around it if I had to do like a live stream, which I do a lot of live streams when I go to a booth and I'm paid to be there to do like giveaways or meet and greets, whatever it is. In my sound audio board right here, it'll show me that I have like the DJI minis connected and then I have the original ones connected. So I would have access to 4 mics through a software like this. So that was another reason why I kept these. So another reason why I don't need the new ones to have more than one receiver going is you can use a USB hub and just plug in multiple receivers. Like if you have an older one, an older generation, and you have a new one, you can still hook those up together on the computer. Now it's different because that's through a laptop, through a phone, if that's what you record on, or through a camera. You're not going to be able to do that, or I don't know of a way to do that, because I've been asked, and I've had another guy that was like trying to figure it out. The only way that I know how to do it is if you have a computer with a recording software that gives you multiple inputs. So if I plug them in, I'm going to see them both pop up and both can transmit 2 receivers each, and I get 4 out of it. I've never tried more than that. I just needed the 4 for certain interviews. So that's another workaround if you guys want more than 2 microphones to work together. If you have more than and the good thing with that trick is you can use any brand, right? Because you're not hooking up to, the same camera, or you're not having to buy that package with the 8 microphones that have to be the same brand. If you have anything like this software, Ecamm, or, maybe StreamYard does the same thing, you can mix and match microphones if you have several brands and just hook them up with the hub, and all those inputs are there. I still recommend the mic minis a whole bunch, and I think they sound just as good. If you guys have watched anything, and I'll throw up a clip, me in a garage with 2 fans going because it is 108 degrees right now outside, and I'm trying to record content in the garage. All right, and thanks again to Milwaukee, and also a big thanks to Camel City Mill Socks. All right, and thanks again to Milwaukee, and also a big thanks to Camel City Mill Socks. And I'm baking in there, so I have 2 fans on, and I'm using right now the mic minis just with that noise reduction. And if I need to, if I hear it in the editing, I'll just kind of clean it up just a little bit, and it sounds perfectly fine. Audio is something you need to focus on, but it is not. It doesn't have to be movie quality. It just has to be clear. There has to be volume to it, and as long as that comes across on your content, you're fine. Be in frame, have good audio, and be yourself and have good content. That's always the advice. I do have a video coming out for some starting tips, or what I think is most important, and those are some of the things, and we'll get into that. I will get into kind of what I carry on the daily, what I use for traveling, different gear that I've picked up recently, like this camera right here. So we're doing a lot of upgrading lately. So if you guys are interested, or you enjoyed the content, trying to help newer content creators. So I'm not going to know everything, and you're along for the journey. I've just made a big commitment this year to go full-time after work content creator. So I got 2 full-time jobs right now. My content creation does give me a second income. I've started to take it more seriously, and I just kind of want to share with you guys what I've learned, maybe what not to get, what you can get right now that'll work the best. And like I said, you just come along with me and learn with me. Any opinions are welcome. I love the feedback. I learn a lot through comments as well. So there's plenty of other creators that know way more than I do. Some of them have commented. I appreciate all that. I appreciate everybody that recommends something. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you again very soon.